Welcome to Networks Professionals.
Hey everyone, and welcome. So if you're a developer and you're thinking about how to seriously level up your career in the cloud, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down one of the most powerful certifications out there, the Azure Developer Associate, or as you probably know it, the AZ-204. We're going to cover what it is, why it's such a game changer, and most importantly, how you can get it. So let me just ask you straight up, are you ready to really kickstart your career in the cloud? Because I'm not exaggerating when I say that earning this one certification could be the biggest and best move you make all year. All right, first things first, what exactly are we even talking about here? Let's get a crystal clear definition of what the AZ-224 is all about. Okay, so think of the AZ-204 as a professional seal of approval straight from Microsoft. It tells any potential employer, hey, this person doesn't just know the theory, they can actually design, build, test, and maintain real applications on Azure. It's all about proving you have those critical hands-on skills. And maybe the best part? The path to getting it is refreshingly simple. There are no complicated prerequisites, no hoops to jump through. It all comes down to passing one single focused exam, the AZ-204. That's it. All right, so why go through all the effort? What's the real career advantage here? Let's get into the all-important what's in it for me? Because honestly, the answer is a whole lot. It pretty much boils down to these four key things. 1, the demand for people with Azure skills is just off the charts right now. 2, this cert proves you have real-world skills, not just book smarts. 3, those first two things lead directly to some serious career growth. And finally, this thing is recognized all over the world, opening up global opportunities. Okay, time to pull back the curtain and really dig into the exam itself. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty of what you actually need to know to walk in there and pass with confidence. Now, you really want to pay attention to this chart because it's basically the cheat sheet for the exam. Look at the two biggest slices. A massive 30% is on developing compute solutions, actually building the apps. But look what's right behind it at 25%, security. Microsoft is practically shouting that a modern developer has to be an expert at both building and securing their apps. If you can master these two domains, you are already more than halfway to that passing score. All right, here are the quick stats you need to know. You're going to have about 2 to 2.5 hours for the exam. It'll cost you around $165 US, though that can change a bit by country. And the magic number you're aiming for is 700 out of 1,000. It's a challenge for sure, but it is absolutely doable. Okay, so we know what it is, and we know why you should care. Now for the most important question of all. How do you actually do it? How do you prepare and pass? Let's walk through the proven game plan. And I want you to think of what's coming next not as a list of tips, but as a real practical roadmap that has worked for thousands of developers just like you. The whole process really has 5 main steps. 1, start with the basics, get your cloud fundamentals down. 2, use the official Microsoft Learn resources. They are amazing and they're usually free. Now, step 3 is the big one. This is non-negotiable. You have to practice. Get in the Azure portal, build things, break things, and then figure out how to fix them. That's where the real learning is. After that, step 4 is to take practice tests to find your weak spots. And finally, step 5, do a smart review, focusing on those big areas we talked about, like security and compute. And look, don't just take my word for it. This quote from someone who crushed the exam says it perfectly. Don't just read, implement. This isn't a test about memorizing facts. It's about proving you can take what you know and apply it to solve actual problems. That is everything. Okay, so let's imagine it. You've put in the hours, you've passed the exam, so what's the payoff? What does life look like on the other side once you're officially certified? Well, first off, getting this certification instantly puts you in the running for some of the most sought-after jobs in tech. Suddenly, your resume doesn't just say developer. It says Azure Developer. It says Cloud Engineer. These are the exact high-value titles that recruiters are typing into their search bars every single day. And you know what comes with those high-value titles? A high-value salary. While it always varies by location and experience, the average salary for professionals who have this cert is floating well over $100,000 a year. That is a serious return on your investment. Now, one quick thing to know is that the certification is valid for 1 year, but don't let that scare you. Renewing it is super easy and, best of all, free. It's just an online assessment to make sure you're keeping up with all the new stuff Azure is constantly rolling out. So, We've gone through the what, the why, and the how. It really all boils down to this one simple question for you. With the demand for cloud developers only getting more intense, is stepping up and earning the AZ-204 your next great career move? The opportunity is right there for the taking.
Thanks for watching.